Well, since my last video on the topic, the crypto market has added about $500 billion or $500 billion to its market cap. That's a lot of kahunas. So let's talk about one cryptocurrency in particular that I think could skyrocket. Yeah, it's Vechain, it's in the title. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and in today's video, I'm talking about a very particular cryptocurrency known as Vechain, or VET, also known as VET. For perspective, the crypto market is still going insane. Here's a look at my portfolio over the past few weeks, and as you can see, it's gone up 20 grand, down 20 grand, sideways 20 grand. It's just crazy because so much money is being pumped into the market at the moment. And I'm okay. I am okay. I can deal with it, but just be aware, it's so volatile at the moment, and it's good and it's bad and it's exciting. It's just perspective. Let's start with what Vechain is. In simple terms, Vechain is designed to enhance supply chain management and prevent fraud and loss of product for businesses. The main objective of the project is to streamline information as it makes its way through the supply chain. So as a product gets made in a factory and makes its way through each checkpoint all the way to your doorstep. The thing that I like the most about Vechain is its transparency. So as the end user or the owner of the product at the end of the day, I can see all of the data and information provided by the supply chain and the manufacturer from the moment it leaves the factory to the moment it arrives at my house. And why is this important? I'm going to get into it, but it is just a fascinating and fantastic project in my opinion. So the way Vechain provides this information and data is by giving the products a physical unique identifier. This can be through QR, through NFC or RFID, where information can be stored onto this code or this scannable object, and then you, the end user, can scan that and see all of the information that's been provided. This information then gets recorded at each stage of the supply chain, and it's obviously in the best interest of the people providing you with this product to give you the most truthful source of information possible for it, which in turn gives you full transparency of the supply chain. I'm going to touch on why this is important again in a moment. As an example, let's use a bottle of wine. Vechain, through its unique identifier system, allows the manufacturer to collect information at every stage of the product being created and then to store that information on the blockchain. Then that unique ID is actually created for the bottle and put onto the bottle so that it lives with the bottle throughout its entire life cycle through supply chain. So then once it leaves the factory and actually makes its way through different transportation companies all the way onto the shelf at the store that you might go and buy it, they can also add information to the blockchain. They can't delete it and manipulate data that's already been put there, but they can add their own information, giving you a holistic view of the actual process from start to finish. The end result is businesses and consumers being able to simply scan a QR code, for example, and access a multitude of information that might be valuable to them, especially in the form of transparency. Because if you think about it, let's say I bought this bottle of wine, I scan this QR code and a whole bunch of information pops up, such as where it was bottled, when it was bottled, who it was shipped through, how many times it changed hands, different countries it made its way through, and something as important as what temperature it was kept at all of these stages throughout the process. Okay, so with the overview of what Vechain is out of the way, what made me decide to invest in this cryptocurrency? There were a few factors. I have had my eyes on crypto for a long period of time. I have also dabbled with small amounts until now, being that I just saw potential in the project. Like, it really just stands out to me. Vechain has already successfully built the infrastructure for this type of tracking, and they have actual customers on the platform right now using the service. You can do a simple Google search just to see what customers they have on board, their biggest one being Walmart China, which is a large company with a lot of customers, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon. They see the value in this product and they are using the service right now. What actually made me pull the trigger was that Vechain's market cap is incredibly small. It was sitting at about $800 million when I invested, which got me at least one token for about 1 US cent. Now, since then, the market has kind of exploded and gone anywhere between 2 and 3x at the time of recording this video anyway. It's still fluctuating and changing every day, but I've already made a double return on my money, but I haven't sold a single cent of it, and I'll probably buy more as the years go on. This is a long-term hold for me because I see true potential in this company, and if that market cap were to absorb anything like what Bitcoin has basically done, we are talking about quite large returns in the long term. It is a risk. Invest at your own risk. That is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I am simply giving you information based on what I have seen and done myself. That's my disclaimer. Just as a reference as well, I am intending to hold this cryptocurrency until it hits the value of about $1 per token, because they trade in tokens. Coins, same thing, same analogy. The concept here is that the value of a single token is currently around 1 to 3 cents USD, and I'm going to be holding onto it until it hits about $1. It may never get there, but if it does, I will see a very hefty return for my initial investment, and I will be one happy guy who gets to claim that I made at least one good choice with money in my life. But in all seriousness, cryptocurrency was a space or an investment that big companies, wealthy people looked at as a bit of a scam, and in hindsight, they were probably buying it in the background when they were saying these things, where banks and investment firms have now come out publicly and said, we are going to be putting some of our money into these cryptocurrencies. Will Vechain be a part of that? Who knows? At the end of the day, the crypto market I don't see going away anytime soon. And if companies or projects can get up and off the ground where they actually are profitable in the long term, investing in them now is smart, period. My strategy to continue buying into the market is to use the dollar cost averaging method, where I take portions and invest passively over time. If you want to understand what dollar cost averaging is, I have linked in the description below to the video I've made on the topic, so check that out as well. Andre Jick said something interesting the other day. He is a financial YouTuber. He is grown significantly since I subscribed to him, and I like a lot of the content he puts out. And the actual phrase he said was that it is more dangerous to not be in Bitcoin right now than it is to be in Bitcoin. And I take that with the same as a lot of the big player cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin being the highest, of course, but I totally get it. It's just the same as in the early 90s. If you were to have invested in Apple, Amazon, anything at all, you would have made massive returns if you held onto it long term. And I see this being something quite similar for my future, and technically yours too, because you're watching this video at a time when it is still in its infancy. Check out the cryptocurrency videos I've made previously if you're interested in figuring out where you can buy cryptocurrency, including Vechain. In America, I still believe it's not listed on Coinbase, so it's one thing to definitely get your head around and have a look at the different exchanges out there and where you can buy these products. Overall, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was insightful, and I hope you took something from it. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. That button is just down there somewhere, and I will see you in the next one.